let's go through this list of updates that's been added to patch 1.5 for Cyberpunk 2077. Its update changes things to the actual console versions, PS5 and Xbox Series, as well as the PC. It came in at 47 gigabytes. It's huge. It changes so much stuff that some of the things when you go back into the game are going to be like, you'll have to kind of pick your perks again and put your mods again on your various armor and such, because they've changed a bunch of things. It's crazy. Okay, ignore this, is already dropped already, about 3 hours ago probably. Okay, so again, various improvements to the game, numerous quests and gameplay fixes, as well as a number of free DLCs. And it's going to allow you to take advantage of the additional power that you are afforded on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 hardware. That's the kind of main thing here. So there are new things, and not just updates and fixes, but actually new things as well, including like new weapons. I think I forgot to highlight that. In fact, there's new weapons, but let's actually go through the matrix here. Enter in the matrix. You can see here new weapons. So you can see all the versions get new weapons. You get additional apartments. Hairdressing mirror. You can, get your hair like your boy. I mean, what can I say? Rebalance of gameplay, economy, and loot systems. All platforms for that as well. Ray trace local shadows. It's a PS5, Series X, and it's already been added to the PC. Various visual quality improvements. Again, all the consoles apart from the old gen ones, and it's previously added already. And again, previously added for this line. Spatial headphone audio. That's added to PS5 specifically, and was already added to the other consoles. So I imagine that's the I forget the name of it now. Their audio, is it? Don't worry, I can't remember what it's called. You guys tell me in the comments. Improved crowd reactions. That's also been added to PC and Stadia as well. And the DualSense controller feature. This is a little bit disappointing, this one, because it's only for the PS5. They didn't add it to the PC apparently, but I will test that and confirm or otherwise. But unfortunately, thus far, it's one of the games that has the PS5 controller. It doesn't have it on the PC, it seems. We'll see. I'm talking about native, not just using the third-party tool. But we'll see. All right. How do I get out of this screen? Unpause, I got out. Unpause, I got out there. Okay. So next-gen exclusives include added ray trace local light shadows. It's just going to look prettier in shadows, I guess. Achievement support for on next-gen consoles. That means it's going to have a separate achievement list now. Even the ones you've unlocked is going to be separate if you're playing on the PS5 or Xbox Series X versions of the game. And it also introduced 2 graphics modes on PlayStation 5 and Series X. I imagine one's going to be for full fidelity versus full 60 FPS, as you see with performance mode here. 60 FPS with 4K scaling. So the cat's at the back there. So the ray tracing mode is a whole bunch of stuff for the Xbox there you can see. And the PlayStation. Very nice. Trying to see if that Tempest. That's it. That's the name, guys. Tempest 3D. That's what they've added for PS5. Now, also, you can rent apartments. I don't know if that was the thing before. I don't remember able to rent any apartments. I'm guessing this is new. So, through a website or computers. And it can be unlocked after playing the plane for time quests. And it shows you prices, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm still playing the game, so I'm avoiding some of the finer details. I'm just going through what kind of is applicable in terms of major updates here. It's going to take a while, this video, a little bit. You can now tweak certain features of your appearance, such as hair, makeup, piercing, etc., via a mirror in any of your apartments and safe houses. Awesome. I think that's more specifically if you play that. I'm not sure what Wilson's is, so I'm going to ignore that for now. You've got some new poses in photo mode, if you're into that, which is good for thumbnails, actually. I probably should have highlighted that. Multiple fixes and improvements to NPC melee and ranged combat AI and reactions, including taking cover, positioning, reloading, equipping weapons, dodging, blocking, and many others. I've had people complain about the AI. Well, there you go. Enemies are now much better at blocking and evading as well. Further diversification of melee and ranged combat behaviors for different factions, which is, it's going to make the whole thing better. Followers now contribute more in combat, but can be defeated and temporarily tabled if they receive enough punishment. So kind of like your some of the Bethesda games and what have you. Except for, I remember in some of the Bethesda games, the characters were dying to load your game every minute, which was kind of annoying. But anyway, looks like they just get down instead. And then there are just fixes and balances and changes to Netrunner combat. Then there are crowd improvements. Now this is, again, for me, this is about an immersion thing. So I'm pretty pumped about that. If you go into PC specifically, there's a setting where you can kind of max crowd density. I don't know if that's changed or what have you, but if they improve it even more, and it was already sick, it's gonna feel like you're playing visually a next gen game even more. And it's not a setting that's just in the graphic settings; it's kind of hidden away a bit. But what we have here for this is aggressive crowd behavior. Certain NPCs archetypes can now can and will enter combat with the player when provoked by aiming, shooting, or fighting. Due to some technical challenges, though, this change is not available on the previous generation of consoles. This is not a game that you should be playing on a PS4 or an Xbox One. I'm sorry, it's just not. It doesn't matter that they try to make it work. Do not play Cyberpunk 2077 on a PS4 or an Xbox One, guys. Please. Please, for the love of God, don't do it. Okay, time skips affects the state of NPCs, as well as resets the state of devices, environments, and certain scenes. So I think that's a useful thing as well. And then we have improved crowd reactions, pathfinding, and despawning. So, you know, so I got some videos of like highlights of like some kind of goofy things that happened in the pre-1.5 patch of like people floating and people just kind of going, doing the Deus Ex. So I imagine a lot of that's been fixed. That's very cool. I've highlighted drive model here as well. You can do burnouts. So you hold the gas and brake to engage it. I imagine it just lets you do a little bit more spinny speed outs and things and donuts and drifts. Very nice. Very cool. New braking system. Engine simulation's been improved. I've heard people complain about the cars as well, how they move and stuff. Gearbox simulation improved. Motorcycles have been improved as well. Tune improvements to various cars. Lovely. And adjustments to first person perspective for all vehicles that needed it. So this is our overhaul of vehicles as well as traffic. Visual improvement, traffic movement, turning and suspension, panic reaction to danger. Traffic now has the ability to drive away in panic from danger. NPC passengers can now die from car crashes. There was some goofy stuff that happened with car crashes and glitches and things like that. So it looks like that's been addressed. Reactions to fender benders. Vehicles now have a wider range of reactions to being bumped into and recover and return to traffic more smoothly. So it's going to just add to the immersion and just take away our ability to make goofy videos about some of the things that happen sometimes that aren't major things. Okay, now some gameplay balance things. So there's various changes that have been done to the economy, including increased rewards from jobs and open world activities and decreased prices for vehicles and cyberware, as well as noises on the phone. It's just nothing serious, it isn't. Turn over my thing here. Okay, rebalanced and improved functionality of clothing mods. And this is an interesting one because it says, as a result, all equipment mods will be moved back to your inventory. Go to your inventory screen and re-equip them in accordance with the new rules. The modification slots are available on clothing items, so they've adjusted the amount of modification slots available. Categorize the mods to fit only specific clothing items. This is only going to be a good thing, I think, because the clothing system in Cyberpunk prior to 1.5 is pretty ridiculous. I can't get over the idea that I had like military gear on. You know, very Soviet Union military gear. But it turned out that I found a pair of hot pants that had more defense than very combat orientated military gear. Stop. Get help. But maybe that's fixed now. This game difficulty is more challenging, by the way, so in case you're wondering if that's a thing. There's some stats to evasion that they've added here now as well. Component things, rebalance damage over time effects, a whole bunch of stuff. Also, we can opt to hide within a search area from police now rather than just kind of making distance from them. So that's the thing. But it'll take longer than just splitting. Cyberware. It's now possible to sell unused cyberware at a Ripper dock. Again, some of these things I'm going into in terms of things that I know are kind of a problem, and as far as I've gotten in the game, because it's a big game. So, you know, you can go through some of these lists yourself and figure out things that are more specific to you. I'm trying to pick one of the more general things that I think are important updates to the game. But it's a whole bunch of stuff that they've done here with cyberware, which is very cool. More combat stuff. Optimizations to combat AI resulting in an overall improved combat experience. We read some of that previous already, so it should be interesting. It was now correctly repositioned to more tactically advantageous positions. Sometimes the AI did kind of slightly goofy stuff. So this is going to only make it better. Accuracy for your followers. Shooting accuracy is always a good thing. NPCs from the same group or faction didn't join combat previously sometimes when they witnessed their comrades fighting. Well, not anymore. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Probably hit reaction. Shotgunners will now attempt to go closer distance to you. I thought they were kind of coming up close anyway, but You know, I imagine it's going to get pretty serious now, I suppose. Visual effects of combat stims used by enemies, so you can see when they're using the stims, I guess. There's just so much stuff in this patch, guys. 47 gigabytes on the PC. Leave it. That's nuts. Okay, bunch of stuff to quick hack in here. NPC stuff, a whole bunch of NPC stuff. There's so much stuff. Some of these are quest stuff, so I haven't read some of them because I'm still working on the game. And then perks, they've rebalanced various perks and moved some of them in the skill tree. As a result, all the perks you spent should be reset apparently now. So you have to set your perks again. I don't know how I feel about that, but they've literally kind of like changed them, you know, redesigned them and stuff. So there's like blood swell, human shield, I don't know what, cold blood, coldest blood, cutthroat. I can't pronounce that, metamorphosis. And then they've added new perks as well, replacing some old ones. Stronger Together, Unbreakable. Man, this is sick. As Ujima mentioned, changes in perks we renamed the stealth skill tree to ninjutsu in order to better reflect the perks it contains. Made the bonuses dynamic for 200% efficiency. Field Technician and Cutting Edge, they are now applied. This is like, I don't want to say it's like a new game, but man, there's a lot of things going on here. I gotta set my perks up again. I gotta put my mods back on my like Fong and stuff, dude. Okay, play mechanics. These are now able to vault, climb, jump, and sprint through glass that has been fractured, like real life. And also, they fixed the issue where disposing of a body into a crate could move it into walls or out bounds. It never happened to me, thankfully, but that's fixed now as well. A bunch of vehicle issues fixed as well. There's just so much stuff. UI things, improvements, intel on the map, skipping time is easier to use. Upgraded graphics for sculpts, improved readability of things, new notifications, the song's name when it starts playing on your radio. What? Maybe I hope they add some extra tracks for like streaming mode or broadcasting mode. I mean, that'd be pretty cool as well. Okay, quests. Again, not going to be any spoilers in this this run through of our first episode of Patched. I don't know if this will be a thing. This might be the first and only. Anyway, added a few secrets. This caught my attention. Added a few secrets in Night City to be discovered by players. Do some technical challenges. I just spat out accidentally. I'm sorry. My mouth's watering over this. I'm salivating. Okay, is that the right word? Due to some technical issues, this change is not available on the previous generation of consoles. Again, guys, listen to me. Okay. Do not play Cyberpunk 2077 on PS4 or Xbox One. Stop. Get help. Don't do it. All right. Now I've emphasized that. That's another proof again. You're not going to get any of these new quests or new discoveries on the older versions or the last gen versions. Don't do it. It just doesn't exist on a PS4 or an Xbox One. It doesn't exist. Get that in your mind. Say it in the mirror 10 times. Cyberpunk was not released on the PS4 or the Xbox One. It does not exist. Cyberpunk, just say it with me, keep going, and then we'll move on. There's extended romance things. I don't know who is romanceable, so I'm not reading it. But you can read it if you are that way inclined in knowing things before they happen. They've added interactions in the homes of love interests. So there you go. I don't need to read any more than that. That's Gucci. You can mute the NCPD dispatch. I don't know if that's the kind of Radiant missions thing that comes up. I'm not sure, but you can do that. Players are also now able to reject non-essential holo calls. I'm not sure what's non-essential or not, but the option's there. Also, I highlighted the fact that it's enhanced Night City nightlife by making music in clubs a bit louder, just to give you a little bit more ambience. I think this game is going to be, you know, I think the last time I played was 1.3. I've been taking my time with this game, and I'm just going to take time with it, just soak it in and go through and take in some of these updates at the same time as well. And I've been very happy with the way I've been doing it and enjoying it greatly. And this is a great excuse to jump back in, I think, guys. So yeah, it's going to be even more atmospheric. Gosh, I thought that was it. How much more have I got? Oh man, dude, this is already 15 minutes. No way. All right. V now has standing with fixers throughout the Night City. New fixer gigs will appear gradually as you set your standing increases. Fixers will offer you other sets of gigs. Previously set in a given district, completing all the gigs, fixer will earn you special reward except for some dude called Mr. Hands. I don't know what his problem is. Crowds and communities of Night City are now more diverse during the day and at night. Increased occurrences and added more variety of conversations in all districts. So more immersion again. This is great. Okay, and I think this is the final area. This is almost 15 minutes. Can't believe it. Graphics, audio, and animation updates, improved water appearance, and added water interactions. So ripples, splashes, effects produced, object collisions from gunfire. Sick. Improved rain visual effects on vehicle windows. Raindrops are no longer afraid of falling. And they've also added neon rims for bikes. What? I haven't even ridden a bike in Cyberpunk yet, but that sounds dope to me. And you can switch it on and off. Going down a little bit, environments and levels. Improve the weather system so that it states changes in a more logical order and when certain conditions are met. And they've reduced, this is why I've highlighted this one in a different color, drastically reduced the amount of loot lying around as part of an effort to allow players more breathing room to experience quest scenes and the world itself. This is one of the things I was saying when playing the game about, if anyone's watched any of the previous experience of the gameplay experience for me, blind experience, I was saying, you know, loot doesn't really feel that important in the Cyberpunk because you get so much stuff. There's just too much stuff. There's too much things that it's hard to really figure out when you're meant to feel excited about finding something because you just find crap everywhere. Hopefully this is a part of fixing that problem. It seems to imply the same thing that I said, that there's just too much loot. So that's great. Then there's this here, this HDD mode. This is a kind of performance thing. If you use this mode, this might be even better at helping you get more data loading and things like that. If you're using like a non-SSD drive, for instance. They've also added AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution, which is pretty much a system I think that is used on most of the consoles. It's also now available on the PC. It's their version, I believe, of DLSS. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the case. So it's added there as well. And then PC-specific stuff. I'm playing on the PC. I wish the DualSense controller worked on the PC CD. Just saying. I'm not being greedy. Grateful for the work. Bless you, but make that DualSense work on the PC though, please, if it's not working already. So yeah, they've added a benchmark mode now, so you can run a benchmark, which that's needed because you can tweak settings and look what's going on. That's nice. And you can now toggle walk if you play with a keyboard. Why are you playing with a keyboard? Don't play Cyberpunk with a keyboard. Like seriously. No, but if you want to, it's cool. But really, you know, behave yourself. Okay, they've enabled transparent ray trace reflections on glossy coating of some cars. So that means if you have a glossy coating car or there's glossy coated cars, they're going to look even sexier. And then there's variable refresh rate or variable rate shading even, which boosts performance visual quality by varying the shading rate of different regions of the frame. Of course it does. I think that's the lot, guys. So, man, are you excited? Are you going to get back into Cyberpunk, or are you now going to finally use our links to do that? There is the gameplay. You can check out my gameplay experience and commentary if you'd like. The commentary of this patched experience is very similar to our gameplay experiences. We also have unboxing of Cyberpunk box where we get, like, what was it, cards, and there was a world compendium. Very cool. We got lore readings. We got so much stuff. It should be on the screen now. Pick one of those videos to continue your Cyberpunk journey with me and let me know how patch 1.5 was for you. I can't believe how long this video is. Jeez, it's 20 minutes. That's such a, man, oh, gosh.